Hey everyone, it's Brittney from The Pretty Plus. Today I'm sharing with you 12 things I've learned since my 12 months post-op weight loss surgery. So a little background is that I had my weight loss surgery on February 8th, 2017 in Indianapolis, Indiana with John Mandelbaum at St. Francis Weight Loss Center. I started at 327 pounds. My day of surgery weight was 308 pounds and my current weight is 230. So that's all that. If you want to know more about my progress, my process, the whole thing, check out that video. It'll be linked for you. I am sharing, again, 12 things I've learned 12 months post-op weight loss surgery. These are in no particular order. I have them all written down because there's a blog post that will be linked below as well. So you can read a little more in depth of the things that I'm saying, kind of process them if you're pre-op and are just really wondering. These are things that I've learned. This is not necessarily everyone's opinion, only mine. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse. I'm just merely a weight loss surgery patient who likes to share the journey. I want to be able to look back on this later, and I'm sure that if you are soaking in all the knowledge that you can, it'll be nice to hear from a normal Jane like me. So the first one is there is a huge difference between the RNY and the sleeve procedures. So RNY is the typical gastric bypass, and then the sleeve is the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which is what I had. The reason I say that is because I knew they were different before. But now I'm in like some Facebook groups and things like that where I see people talking about their progress and their process in getting to their progress. And it's very obvious that there is a huge difference. And everyone has a totally different experience, but they're very, very different if one has had RNY and one has had the sleeve. So things like tolerance and weight loss and how quickly you lose weight and things like that, they're going to differ very much so. So when you're looking at things online, definitely look at people who have had the same type of surgery as you instead of just weight loss surgery in general. That's really helped me. The second thing is being a slow loser isn't that bad at all. I was afraid in the beginning that I was going to be a slow loser, which it's really subjective as well, isn't it? Like, I was afraid that I would not hit my goals, but then somewhere along the process, my goals have become irrelevant as far as the numbers go, and I think more about how I'm feeling and whatnot. I have always thought, those people are losing weight so fast, like that's so great. And it is for them. I'm glad that there are people who can lose weight quickly, but there are some people like me who lose weight a little bit slower, and it's hard to not compare yourself, but you really need to not compare yourself because it's going to be very different for everyone. And then the one thing that I think about that's like a perk of losing slower is less saggy skin. I feel like I still have some spots that are saggy, and I'll put pictures at the end of this of my before and after just so you have that for reference. But I'd say that when you lose slower, your skin has more time to elasticize and bounce back. That also has to do with the vitamins you take and how much water you're having and how young you are and things like that. But regardless, being a slow loser isn't all that bad as long as you keep losing. Number 3 is you can still eat like crap. So this is different for some people. Some people eat just a little sugar and they have what they call dumping syndrome, or they just feel horrible. I can eat like crap and I don't feel all that bad. There are times where if I eat something really dense in sugar, I don't feel great, but I still don't feel bad enough to never eat bad foods. You have to realize that when you're having the surgery, it's not a cure-all. It's not going to fix everything. And if you like to eat, you're still going to like to eat when it's done, said and done, because that's your mindset. There are times where some people don't have that issue because they don't like eating at all anymore. It makes them sick all the time. And those are things you're going to have to think of that could be a possibility for you. But you can still eat like crap after you've had weight loss surgery. You just have to make sure you're not. You just have to like have self-constraint, which you don't think you really are going to need, but you need a lot of it. And that comes into play with the fourth one, which is you can still eat a lot. Your stomach may be this big, right? You can still eat a lot. It may not be all in one sitting. Like now I know that if there are snacks out, I can eat as much as everyone else if I'm continually snacking because I know that I can. And it can be a real bitch, that's for sure. One of the things that I think that falls into this category really well is just because you can eat a certain amount doesn't mean you should. So just because you can eat 5 ounces of food doesn't mean you have to eat 5 ounces of food. And that's something that I was kind of falling into is, okay, I'm at the stage of 5 ounces. I'm going to eat 5 ounces. When I wasn't listening to myself and knowing that, okay, I'm full and it's only been 3 ounces and that's okay. You have to really listen to your body because you can still eat a lot and it can suck. And it can really be detrimental to your weight loss goals. So just listen to your body, don't peace all day, and you won't have as many problems as I do. I don't want to say I have a ton of problems, but I do like to eat still. Number 5 is the surgery / way of life will consume your thoughts. I'm looking down because I have my computer with all this stuff written up. But it will consume your thoughts. I think that my friends and family have to think that I'm so annoying because I mention my surgery often, but I also think that they have to understand, right? Like my lifestyle now is so different than it was before and so different than my friends and family's lifestyle currently is that they can literally decide, hey, let's go to a buffet. I'm going to eat my feelings. We can't really do that. We can go to a buffet and still eat a tiny amount and then maybe sit there all day and eat plenty of food. But it's just different. I don't mean to be so annoying. I really don't. One of my friends recently kind of made a sarcastic comment and I don't think that they realized that it hurt my feelings, but it did. But they were just like, I mentioned something and someone asked me why, and I was like, starting to say, I had weight loss surgery, and she was just like, she had a weight loss surgery, right? Doesn't everyone know that? And I was just like, oh, that's kind of crappy. It made me feel bad because I do mention it a lot, but it's so different than how everyone else eats and how everyone else thinks that I feel like I have to, justify it. And I can only apologize so much. I'm not going to keep apologizing a million times. And if it's keeping me on track, I don't really care. I'm still a year out and it still does. So I don't know if that ever will change, but I'm guessing that it fades with time because I have way less thoughts about how I'm eating and how my life is so different than I did, even 6 months ago. So that's all about that one. Number 6 is you will have a crazy sadness for the loss of your old self. Getting really deep here, guys. I hope that you're sticking around with me, but you'll have a sadness for the loss of your old self because, again, those things that you used to do with your friends, say you used to go to a Chinese buffet, which is what I did with a few of my friends and my brother, and now I just can't. I can't let myself go in there like that because I'll overeat and I'll feel gross and I don't eat enough to justify the amount that you're paying and not have leftovers. And I've had that same Chinese place one time since my surgery, but I had to order a meal instead of going for the buffet while my husband ate the buffet. And that's another thing, my husband surely didn't sign up for this when we got together. He surely didn't think, yeah, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with someone who can hardly eat, because he likes eating. I liked eating. I still like eating. It's just different. And you'll have a real sadness when you realize that some of the things that you used to do or things that kind of defined you in a sense of food, so not necessarily in your whole life, are just different now. So that also feeds into my next one, which is less deep than that one, and it's you will have a crazy sadness for the loss of stuff. So if you looked in my closet a year ago, If I can find pictures, I'll try to post them for you as well in the blog post that correlates to this. But you would look at my closet and it was stuffed. I had stuff everywhere. I had so much clothing, and now I probably have 30 pieces of clothes in my closet, and then my dresser is like moderately full at best, mainly of like leisure wear. I personally really enjoy having a pared down closet, and I've been working on, you know, having more of a capsule style wardrobe, so it hasn't bothered me that much. But there have been things that have been so painful for me to give away, like to have to say they just don't work anymore. And I would get some of them tailored, but they're so stretched out from how like large I was wearing smaller size clothes that they just would never look the same. So it's weird how you'll feel a loss for some stuff, but you really might. That's how I was anyway. Number 8 is shopping will be a whole new weird experience. I'm so used to having a limited selection of clothes I can buy from. Say I'm at Macy's and there's this huge floor of clothes, right? Well, I could only shop in this section, so it made things so much easier. There's a few pair of pants to choose from, a few dresses to choose from, a few tops, and that's it, right? And now I go to Macy's and everything except for that tiny section is fair game. And it's like, how do people choose from all this stuff? There's just so much stuff. And I find it to be way more overwhelming than plus size shopping. I still buy some plus size stuff, obviously. I'm still plus size, but I don't have to only shop in the plus size section now. And it's just weird. It's a weird experience. And, it's so overwhelming and new. But again, it's something that was kind of one of my goals, was to be able to shop as I pleased, and it's worked. So I can't be upset about it, but it is weird and it is overwhelming, and I still prefer shopping alone probably, just because I get really overwhelmed pretty quickly. Number 9, back to a more serious one, is that people will judge you. I feel like my friends and family don't judge me. Like what I said before about how they hurt my feelings, I wasn't feeling judged. I was just feeling like they were like, oh, okay, Brittney, like enough yapping, which is normal. But people, yeah, even friends and family, honestly, can think this, but there are so many people who believe that I took the easy way out. That I just decided, okay, I'm gonna remove 70 to 80% of my stomach and that's the easy way out. It like freaking wasn't the easy way out, because now I have a whole new way of living. As you can see, I have so many things that are different than before. The easy way out for me would have been to keep living my life, to keep being fat and happy and going along my day and not worrying about my health problems because they were imminent, right? The easy way out was definitely not to have a major surgery. That was probably one of the scariest things I've ever done in my life. And to be honest, it's still scary to this day. Number 10 is you need to actually be working out. While things were not easy for me, like things didn't just, like the weight, sometimes people just, they don't have a desire to eat and the weight just falls off and they've lost 150 pounds in 6 months. That didn't happen for me, and that's fine. I hardly had to work out to lose the weight that I have lost. So I've lost 97 pounds in the course of just over a year, and I've hardly worked out. I'd say it probably averages to like once per every 2 weeks. Maybe. And that was like some of them being like every day for a few weeks and then like none for a month. Do you get what I'm saying? Very sporadic, and I regret that. I really wish that I would have started working out sooner and that I could actually learn how to keep a steady workout routine. I do now think that I have something in mind that I've done a few times that I could potentially stick to. I just need to actually do it, and I haven't. So that's all that to say is you actually need to be working out, because the further out you are from surgery, the less weight you're going to lose quickly, and you gotta make sure it keeps on moving. Don't be like me and not work out. You gotta work out. It's necessary. Number 11 is I don't see myself smaller. I still imagine that I'm gonna look in the mirror and see myself at like pushing 230 pounds instead of, or sorry, pushing 330 pounds instead of pushing 230 pounds, right? So like I look in the mirror or like walk by a mirror or I'm shopping and I think of myself still as 100 pounds heavier. It's a weird occurrence. I'm trying to correct myself with it and I'm trying to really see that my progress shows, but it's very hard. Very hard. And number 12 is the best one. Number 12 is that I feel amazing. Like, of all the other reasons, of all the other things and negative things that I've told you in this video, all the things that are scary about the weight loss surgery, none of them matter because I feel amazing. I have rid myself of sleep apnea, high blood pressure, pre-diabetes. I've pretty much beaten PCOS. I'm on the way to making a baby. Like, all those things are awesome. I have energy. I can actually work out. I can like jog a little. Like I can like, if I'm like trying to get somewhere fast, I can do it. Like, they're such awesome things. And if you would have asked me like 6 months ago if I was happy I had the surgery or if I regretted it, I only really saw the weight loss, like the number at that point. And I think that I was still just in such a shock that I was even doing what I was doing that I would have said, yeah, I regret it. 100% would have been like, yeah, it's really not done much for me. But like when I look back over the last year and I think about, you know, a year ago where I was, and I even look at myself in photos, I'm like, that girl looks uncomfortable. That girl doesn't look healthy. And now I feel healthy. I feel happy. I feel energized. And I just feel so good. And I plan on keeping it up. I plan on losing some more weight. And I just want to be healthier, you know? There's no part of me that thinks like, man, I can't wait until I can eat, you know, a few more plates of food at a time. Like, it's not what I desire. Anyway, I hope this was informational for you. If you're considering a weight loss surgery, definitely check with all your friends you know who've had it, read up on some blogs, watch some videos. I binged so many videos before I had the surgery, and that's why I wanted to create a few so that you guys could see my journey as well. Yeah, you will really, like, 100% will not know how it feels until you've actually had the surgery yourself. There's no preparation that's really going to help you. But I think that once you do it, if you really stick to it and you work on yourself and your purpose instead of just a number, you will be successful. So I wish you nothing but the best. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I will chat with you soon. Bye.